Now, if you own a student property in Leeds, or perhaps you've been thinking about buying one, you've probably noticed something in the last few years, and that is that cranes are everywhere and that new student towers have been going up all over the city centre. At the exact same time, the headlines are screaming that international student numbers are collapsing. So which is it? Is Leeds about to have thousands of empty bed spaces? Is this going to crash the rents for everyone? Or is this just some noise that doesn't actually affect you? Well, I went through the actual data, including university enrolment figures, planning applications, occupancy reports, and the answer is a lot more interesting than just yes or no. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is David Heron. I am the owner of Central Properties Student Letting Agency in Leeds, and we specialize in student lettings across the city. And if this isn't your first time here, well, welcome back. Okay, right, let's get on with it. Now, first of all, let's confirm exactly what is happening, because it isn't just a rumor. UK study visa numbers have fallen from a peak of 484,000 in 2023 down to around 301,000 by mid-2025. That's driven mostly by the January 2024 ban on most postgraduate students being able to bring dependents with them. And Leeds hasn't been spared. If anything, it's been hit harder than most. The University of Leeds saw international enrolment drop by roughly 22% in a single year. Now, that is one of the steepest falls in the entire Russell Group of universities. To put a number on it, the university has lost over £53 million in tuition fee income in just 1 year. So no, this isn't exaggerated. The international student pipeline that a lot of that new purpose-built student accommodation has been built for has genuinely shrunk. While international student numbers were falling, Leeds was still building. PBSA grew by over 21% in 2 years, even as the actual pool of students who live in it shrank by more than 7%. Now, that gap is now showing up in real buildings. Take Threadworks, a brand new 548 bed tower near the city centre, completed in 2025. It's currently sitting at roughly 50% occupied. The operator has actually applied to Leeds City Council to convert several floors into short stay hotel rooms during term time, just to make the numbers stack up. Kirkstall Brewery is another one. Over 400 beds there are being converted out of student use entirely into standard apartments. So no, this isn't a rumour. These are named buildings in planning documents telling us high-end city centre PBSA model is under real pressure in Leeds right now. Okay, now for the part you're actually tuned in for. What does this mean if you own or you are thinking about buying a normal student house in places like Hyde Park, Headingley, Burley or Woodhouse? Well, based on the data, probably not much, and possibly even good news. And here's why: because PBSA and HMOs aren't really competing for the same tenant. PBSA is mostly chosen by international students and first years who want security and an all-in-one package, and they're paying for it. We're talking around £170 a week minimum versus roughly £93 a week excluding bills for a typical shared house. Now, when PBSA struggles, it's struggling at the expensive end. That's the towers built for high-paying, increasingly shrinking international markets. Domestic students, who are now the dominant group, are price sensitive. Now, they're choosing the more cheaper, more independent option. That's, of course, your HMO. There's actually a case that more PBSA in the city centre takes away pressure off the traditional student suburbs, not the other way around. Yields in areas like LS6 are sitting around 7.9%. Now, this isn't a clean, nothing to see here story either. A few things genuinely matter for the next year or two. Firstly, the Renters' Right Act, which is now fully in place from May 2026. Purpose-built accommodation providers, of course, get an exemption from this that lets them keep fixed-term tenancies. HMO landlords like us have lost that flexibility. That's arguably a bigger near-term issue for you than the PBSA oversupply is. And secondly, Leeds isn't even the worst hit city. Sheffield's situation is more extreme. Its demand pool fell over 17% against rising supply, and rents there have already dropped over 5%. So if you're benchmarking Leeds, it's serious, yes, but it's not the most exposed market in the country by far. And thirdly, do not expect a crash. What the data actually points to is a slow multi-year reset. Flat rents, more incentives like cashback and rent-free periods, fewer towers getting built, and underperforming schemes quietly being converted into apartments or hotels. So not a collapse at all, more of a correction. So to directly answer the title of this video, is the Leeds PBSA about to collapse? Well, for the expensive city centre towers built on international student growth that's no longer coming in droves, they're under real documented pressure pressure, and some are already looking at changing of use to survive. For you as a traditional Leeds HMO landlord or investor, the affordable suburban student house market does look structurally fine so long as you're providing a quality product in a good area. The students are still coming, they're just choosing differently, and that choice is currently working in your favor. The smart move right now, of course, is not to panic, but it isn't ignoring the situation either. It's holding good quality, fairly priced stock, watching how the Renters' Rights Act changes closely in terms of student behavior, and being very cautious about buying into any new high-end PBSA stock at today's prices. Now, if you want me to break down exactly how the Renters' Rights Act is already changing the student rental market, let me know in the comments below, because that might be the next video. Until then, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.